Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, know that I appreciate you. I'm watching this senior citizen parked in a handicap spot get out of the handicap spot the best way that she can, being that she parked on an angle instead of straight. Just as the person before her had done, he also parked on an angle instead of straight, just as the person before him had done right across from where he parked on an angle instead of straight. I am afraid of these senior citizens. Oh, and the other one just left you. I'm afraid of these people because, Lord, today, if that's how you park, we got some issues. And I will never park next to a handicap spot again. Good golly. Okay, well, I told you guys yesterday that I was going to go to Best Buy to buy a hard drive. I needed a new hard drive for my husband's laptop. And that will hopefully prevent me from buying a new laptop myself. Well, the good thing is I bought the new hard drive, installed it properly, which I knew that I would because it's not my first time doing it. I did it years ago on a desktop a couple of times, hard drives and memory. And so it wasn't like I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. So I got it done, but before I did it, I turned the computer on and I got an error message, a boot error message. And I didn't know what it was all about. It made no sense to me. I tried to get rid of it. I researched it and tried to get rid of it because I had not seen that particular message before. It told me what to do to get rid of it. That didn't work. I said, okay, fine. Let me just go ahead and swap out the hard drives and maybe that'll make the difference. Well, I swapped out the hard drives. That did not make the difference. I went through the process of fixing it again, and it did fix it to a degree. It took me to a new error message. So I spent maybe an hour and a half, maybe, trying to get this thing to work properly, and it just wouldn't do it. So I walked away. I walked away from it because I was highly disappointed. I walked away from it and started working on something else on my laptop. And then I was done. I went to bed. Well, this morning I woke up and I made an appointment with the Geek Squad at Best Buy just because I wanted to see if they could take a look at it and tell me what the issue is. Now, I did just end my tech support contract with them. Like literally last week, I ended the contract with them and I had until the 15th to get in there and do anything else I needed to have done. Well, that didn't happen because yesterday was the 19th, no, 20th. And today's the 21st. So anyway, I made the appointment because I wanted them to take a look at it if they, were able to. And I brought the laptop to work just so I could see if there was maybe something I was missing. No, nothing I'm missing. It's still not booting up. I get to Best Buy. The guy looks at it and he's stumped initially. So he's like, well, let me take it in the back. I said, as long as it's not going to cost me anything, go right ahead. Took it in the back and came back out. And he said, the issue is you no longer have Windows on here. That's why it won't boot up. Once we try to install Windows, it boots up just fine. Once we put Windows on it, it boots up just fine. I said, okay. But the old hard drive had Windows on it, and that's when I got the initial error message. And so I changed out the hard drives thinking that would help, and that didn't help. And he says, well, wait, if you had the old hard drive with Windows on it, you should have put it in a recovery mode, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it should have been fine when you put the new one in and installed the Windows from the old one. I said, well, no, that boot message is the message I got with the old hard drive on. I said, remember when I said this was the initial message I got? That's with the old hard drive. He said, okay, that doesn't make sense, but I will tell you this, you need to buy Windows. I said, okay, fine. How much is it? Tell me, I can't buy it right now, but tell me how much it is. Told me how much it was. Sure enough, it's not something I can buy right now. But at least now I know that it's not a waste and that everything will be fine once I install Windows. Now, what I didn't mention yesterday was the fact that I had put a new laptop in the layaway at Walmart as soon as they opened up the layaway at Walmart. And when I bought the hard drive yesterday, I said, this is going to keep me from having to spend the extra money on a new laptop if I don't have to. So I'm going to go close out my layaway, cancel it out, pay the little $10 fee, and get my funds back. I've sent the husband a text message letting him know that this is what I'm doing, and if he responds back, go ahead and buy the new system, buy the new software. Guess what I'm buying? Windows. Now, I don't want to do it if it's going to cause us a hardship with our bills, because I still have to be financially responsible. If it's going to cause us a hardship with our bills, I'm not doing it. I know how much money is in my bank account, all of my bank accounts, and I know how much money is in his, but I also know what bills need to be paid between this week and next week. So I've got to make certain that if I do this, it's not going to cause a financial hardship. And I think that's where a lot of people make their mistakes when they impulse buy, or one of their mistakes when they impulse buy. They don't take into consideration what the financial hardship may be if they spend the money right then. Because it's an impulse buy. It's not a I think about it buy, it's an impulse buy. With an I think about it buy, you do weigh the pros and the cons. You do weigh the consequences. You do look at what your bills are overall. That's so pretty. You do look at what your bills are overall, and you take those bills into consideration before you buy something. With an impulse buy, you don't care what your bills overall look like. You just buy because you want to have it. I can't operate like that. My husband, however, does. I would say 55 to 65% of the time, that's how my husband operates. I think about purchases before I purchase. And I will, if I think it's going to cause too much of a hardship, I will not buy it. And it drives him crazy because he feels like you should be able to buy whatever you want. And I agree with him. I should be able to buy whatever I want. However, I also know that I should be able to live with a roof over my head in an apartment or a house or whatever. I also know that I should be able to eat every day. I also know that I should be able to put gas in my vehicle so that I can get around. I also know that I need to maintain the clothes that I have on my back by doing laundry on a regular basis and only buying clothing when I absolutely need to. That's how I think. That's how I've always thought. It doesn't always work out the way that I want it to or the way that I plan for it to, but that's how I think, because I understand that my priorities must outweigh my play. My priorities must outweigh my wants. My needs have to outweigh my wants. And if they don't, then you end up in turmoil. And we have ended up in financial turmoil quite a bit because we are two totally different people when it comes to how we spend. It's caused quite a few disagreements and a lot of financial strain. And you all know that I try to be open and honest about my journey, my life. Sometimes to a fault. Because again, people will say, if you are this and you are that, then why are you having this issue? And the bottom line is, I am still 100% human with 100% human issues. And if it were me alone, things would be a little bit different. Things would be a little bit different because even though financially when I was younger, single, and it was just my children and myself, the way I managed my money worked for me. It worked. I didn't always have what I wanted, but it worked for me. But because I have a husband now, and have had one for almost 8 years, I can't do it the way that it works for me. I have to take into consideration how it works for him, or his opinion of it. And sometimes that gets us into a financial bind. And I can't blame it all on him. That's another thing that I believe people do on a regular basis. They want to blame others for their hardships, or blame others for their downfalls, or blame others for their, misfortune. I don't blame my husband for the financial situation. I blame myself. I take on the responsibility for the part that I played in this, because I can say no. I can say no. I could say no, we're not going to spend this money, and let him be upset. Fine. You be upset, we're not spending this money. Or I could say yes. And what I tend to do, and I have told myself that I can no longer do it this way, because it's not my responsibility to figure everything out. What I tend to say is, don't worry about it, I'll figure it out. That's what I tend to say. Well, it's not my responsibility to figure everything out at all. So I have to stop saying that. So I don't say it anymore. I mean, it was second nature for me to say it. Oh, don't worry about it, I'll figure it out. Second nature. But that, me saying don't worry about it, I'll figure it out, is not helping us move forward. So I have to take responsibility, as I have done, and correct the action, which I have done. I took responsibility, I no longer say it. So from now on, and we have had some deep discussions because I've said no more frequently than he's used to. I've said no. And then when it's all said and done, okay, now let's have a conversation where you get an understanding of why I said no. And it's not me talking to him as if he were a child. I'm not being condescending. I shouldn't say very condescending. I'm not being condescending at all. What I'm trying to get him to understand is where I'm coming from with my no. I'm not just saying no because it sounds good. I'm saying no because it has a purpose behind it. It's contrary to what we're trying to do. If I say yes to everything that you want. So that's something that we have to practice. We have to be able to, and I've written this in my blog, it's okay to say no. It's okay to, you know, defend your boundaries. It's all right. That is totally 100% okay to do that. We as humans have a hard time with that. We as people pleasers have a hard time with saying no and you know, marking out our boundaries, standing firm in that. We have a difficult time with that. We need to get it together. I need to get it together. It is not going to be received very well when we do that, because people are used to us saying yes. They're used to us giving them their way. But at what cost to ourselves? Whether it's a physical cost, a financial cost, an emotional cost. At what cost to ourselves? Oh my gosh. Am I doing this? Walmart is jam-packed. Jam freaking packed. But I know what I'm getting ready to do. I'm going in the opposite direction of where all of these cars are. I'm going right here. I will refuse to be in the middle of that mess. I don't know what's going on in Walmart. I don't know who's causing what issues in Walmart, but I know what I need to do. So I'm going to go do that. But yeah, we have to be able to say no and be outright with it. Doesn't matter what the other person thinks or feels about it. It's okay. I don't know how me getting a fix for this laptop led to this conversation, but it did. So I must have needed to say it. Peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you.